Right, how do I check on this? Just bear with me a moment, please. For some reason it's not coming up yet that I'm live. Hopefully it will do. Maybe it takes a couple of moments to register. Let me come out of that and come back in again. That might help. Yep, there we go. Hi. Okay. Cheers, Jeff. Good. Just got home and saw a tweet that I had been tagged in. I think that's the right terminology, which I want to share with you because I was very impressed by this. The efforts of a tweeter to investigate and try and corroborate. Hi, Jerome. Jerome, I've sent you a link. Come on in and join us, and we'll run through this together. Won't take very long. It will take just a few minutes to share this, but this was quite stunning. But yeah, Jerome, I've sent you the link, messengers, so pop on in and let's. Yeah, I can do that. No worries. Yep. Just stop this just for one moment. Jerome says, give us 5 minutes. Obviously, wanted to say thank you to everybody for supporting our event. It seemed to be that some people were saying that it was my event, that I was the organizer. No, it's certainly not a case of that. Yes, I did put certain things together, but it's very much a team effort. And there was a whole group of us with, as I say, almost like a hierarchy. Report to Mark Hodinett every so often in order to discuss certain things. Brilliant event. Really enjoyed the Ripper at the end there, going for 6 hours. Also in the video earlier, I very remiss of me to mention that I'd had a great chat with obviously Ed Johnston and Vic Fussell. What a charismatic fellow. Absolutely superb. Travis did say, he's one of these superstars of the legal world. But then also John Farrak. Wow, I was blown away by John Farrak. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Didn't mince his words. Got right to the point. He he knows a lot about this case. He really does know the nitty gritty. And then Rob Bellin. What a really nice way to finish off for my shot with Rob Bellin. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, it did, T1. It did. Yeah, the spirit of the dude. Talking of spirit, I'm absolutely gasping now. I actually stayed off the drink on Sunday. That was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, Sunday going in today. Millbilly 7 hours. Yeah, it was. Gee whiz, it was a long time. Let me just see if I can tell you a little bit about it. It's a tweet by part 1 of 2 by MK Universoul. Universal, but with Univer and then Soul, Soul. So we'll just wait on Jerome to come in. I don't see any problem with. It did Millie Billy. Apologies. It did fly by, and that's a good thing. I think sometimes if it's a case of going for several hours each, it can be a little bit problematic. Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
good evening.
Dude, I'm not the Messiah. I'm just a very naughty boy.
So, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I haven't slept since Saturday night. I've
Really?
I had I had maybe 20 minutes, couple of 20-minute spots, but
Oh,
when this rock and roll lifestyle, dude.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what it's like. I will sleep. I will sleep well tonight, but this that I saw on the on a tweet that somebody had tagged. Is it? Do you tag somebody in a tweet? Is that what it
Uh,
is? I think it
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You can. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You can tag
yeah,
somebody in a tweet. Tag his
yeah,
name.
yeah.
For a reason. But explain me what's it about because I don't know what you are talking about. This is
Well,
about the tweet.
yeah. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. Hopefully this will all work. Let me just make sure that my monitor. I don't have a big fancy screen like Mill. I nearly said Millie Billy. No, I
Mel
don't have a
Billy.
Millbilly. Yes, I don't have a big screen, but what I do have is a phone with the volume turned down, and that's able to do the job. So let me just click on that and share, and let's click on that and let's put that fully up, and let's go to this one here. So this is part 1 of 2. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is MK Universoul.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
Did you?
Yeah,
You've seen it? Yeah, there we go.
yeah.
So part 1 of 2, I watched some old news footage of the day Teresa Hollback's vehicle was found on Avery Salvage Yard, and Tom Sowinski's. Oh, they're saying a story. It's not a
No.
story. A true true account checks out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what he's put is this, and hopefully this will. Oh, too quick. No, what am I? Yeah. Bobby Dassey attempted to step in front of my car, blocking my exit. I was within 5 foot of Bobby Dassey, and my headlights were on the entire time. The older man ducked down behind the open passenger door. I swerved to the right and drove in the shallow ditch to avoid hitting Bobby. I called out, "Paperboy, gotta go," because I was afraid for my safety. Bobby Dassey looked at me in the eye, and I could tell with the look in his eyes that he was not happy to see me there. I mean, look, that bit I think is very interesting, because lawyers know that you cannot do anything by the look in the eye. How can you
Yeah, yeah,
assume
it's true.
by the
Yeah,
look in the eye? And I just wonder
yeah,
if that was part of the deception by Kathleen Zellner to try and sort of make the state think that she is throwing spaghetti at the wall to see if it sticks.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's a very, very clever thing to get Thomas Sowinski to say that. I could
Yeah,
tell by the and I and then it goes. I knew that Bobby Dassey was the older individual, and the older individual were doing something creepy.
yeah, yeah. I see. I
I
see.
mean, you,
I see.
you can't confirm that, can you? There's
No,
no way of
no. See,
corroborating that.
no.
But what we
It's
can
impossible.
corroborate, of course, is this, and that is when you look at um, the footage here. There's where the car, but there's where he saw the car, and
Yeah,
there are actual tracks going around where he swerved into the ditch and came back round again. And this is just hours before that. So
yeah, yeah.
let's just close that, because there's a whole lot to this. I think if I click on that one, because some
Yeah.
of these are incredibly clear. So Sowinski's showing where he drove around Bobby and bearded man marked with an X. News footage of the November the 5th, 2005, just hours after the RAV4 was found. Vehicle tire tracks showing a swerve into the ditch around Sowinski's X marked same area. No, I think we've done that one.
Yeah, it was the first one.
Yeah, I've done that one. So then we move on to this one here.
This one.
Yes. So, how have you recovered? Have you had much sleep?
Oh yeah, yeah. Me too. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
have, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I was,
Mhm.
yeah, I was tired, yeah, for sure. But with all the excitement and all the energy, the good vibes,
Yeah.
and it was hard, really hard to sleep.
Aye.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. I've really well recovered, and I'm really fine, really well, doing
Excellent.
great, doing really great. Yeah. So, and the question is, why waiting 15 years before testify this about that? Uh,
Um. Well, I think Kathleen's on answered that, didn't she? She said that he contacted the sheriff's office at the time, and this is the big problem.
yeah,
They
the phone
they
call.
never they
No,
never followed up.
no. But the problem is, I think the call is the on the 5th November by Mr. Solinsky, but no phone record uh, show this call. So it's because we have all the phone calls on the 5th, and if it's if it's the 5th, then Mr. Sowinski had called the police, Manitoba
Hmm.
Police Department. There is no audio about that, so
No, no.
it's strange. And
Yep.
I when it was at between 4 p.m. and 5 a.m. for 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning, right?
Well, I think it was 1 and 2, wasn't it?
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
why I ask you that because
yeah. Between 1 and 2, because often they when they're doing a paper round, they have to start. I mean, I've seen here in Galashiels a milk delivery round going round it, and they're literally at 1 o'clock in the morning because they've got to get around everybody
yeah, yeah,
before
yeah,
before daylight.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm. But I mean, there is, and I'm wondering if I can zoom in on that. um, to make it any bigger.
Yeah.
But there is clearly, you can actually see the tire tracks there. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Absolutely. Yeah.
absolutely amazing. You can actually see them. I immediately yeah, that's better. That's better, isn't it? Look at that. You can clearly see the tire tracks going along here and around here.
Yeah.
And that's let's go to the next. That is incredibly good work by this fella to, you know, so that, I mean, the tire tracks could of course be the day before, but this is just, as it says here, news footage of the November the
Yeah.
5th, just hours after the RAV4 was found. And yeah, look at the tracks. You can see them. But let's just close that one, because then we've got the benefit of a. This is part 1 of 2 that I read. I think I need to go back to MK Universoul, don't I, to see what? Yes, here we go. MK Universoul. This is part 1 of 2. So hopefully we'll find part. Yeah, there we go. Here's the footage of that.
Yeah. The video footage.
Yes, it might be awkward trying to get it to play because of the all the memories being
Yeah. Yeah.
used at the
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
on that. But I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
to
It
this,
makes sense with his testimony. So absolutely, but to point the finger on two people directly like this, I don't know. It was in the middle of the night.
I think that one, that is my favourite picture. I think I'm gonna smile at that one for a long, long time this evening, because that is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the view tweet. Yeah, but all right, okay. So that takes us back to here, part 1 of 2. I mean, that is absolutely spot on with that. You can actually see the marks, and and just where the X is. But I tell you what, the other thing that struck me, Jerome, look at the
Yeah.
number of cars there.
Yeah. The number of cars.
Look at
Yeah.
the number of police cars. This is
Yeah, this
ridiculous.
is this. Yeah, yeah. Really, this is like when the president is is
Yeah,
killing or some. Yeah, I don't know why there is so many police car in the same time in the same place at the same moment, just because they find a blue raffle. That's right. Yeah, come on.
it's very interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
It's crazy. This story sometimes makes sense for a lot of things, but sometimes it doesn't at all.
Okay. Let's just go back. I think I can close that. Close that. Um,
You know, I'm sure then Casey had a witness for so two people or one people. I don't know. I I don't know at all. Sewing two people pushing the raffle on every road. Yeah, it's really possible. But yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, as I say, I do realise that there's people joining all the time, and just to highlight this again, if you're just tuning in, Viacard, this is the in the late on in the morning of November the 5th. This is news footage obviously from a helicopter, and you can clearly see the tire tracks in the grass there, where it's absolutely absolutely brilliant that somebody's. Well, I suppose you could say it's obvious, going
Yeah,
through that,
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
um, uh, excuse me. I can't seem to get this to.
But I don't know if behind, not behind, in front of a court of law, just an eyewitness had something to. I mean, what power is his statement can be? You know what I mean? This is just an eyewitness. So
Oh yeah, yeah, but the thing is though, you see, he's telling the truth. I mean, well, as far as I can tell, and
yeah,
that is very very significant. That he's saying that he swerved at just the point where there's tire tracks a few
yeah,
hours later in the grass. I mean, he then phones the Manitrock Sheriff's Department and and they're not interested. That's
yeah. I know. I know the story. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that is.
But you see, for me, I don't. It was on the 5th, so he contacted the sheriff department, and it must be have a trace of this phone call, and we don't have this phone call.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, no, I, I think that phone call was there for a while, but then they don't keep them for very long, do they? Or at least they don't keep them indefinitely. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's usual
yeah,
in
yeah.
Manitoba. Yeah,
Absolutely, Wizard. It doesn't matter who's pushing the car. And I do have a question about that, which I've asked so many other people. I might as well ask you, Jerome, as well. The idea of who was pushing the car is irrelevant. The car being pushed onto the yard is the issue to hand. Um,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
in look, I'm gonna say this, right. Bob is getting a lot of attention. Bob is getting a lot of attention because people are saying, um, and I think to a certain extent, quite rightly so. It's like, well, you're saying you're adamant that everybody is innocent, that nobody had anything to do with this. You cannot keep an eye on all of your family members,
No,
24/7. You cannot know what's going on. Yes,
no,
you can be assured, you can obviously stress the fact that to your knowledge you don't know of anything going on, and it's clear to me in both episodes, particularly the first episode. Bob doesn't know what's going on. She
no,
she even
no.
says in one phone call, Brendan, you actually did all this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was completely. Yeah,
And at that moment in time, she's actually saying to Brendan, you did all this. If I'd have known, I would have come and got you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And call the
um,
police,
so so
and yeah, 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 yeah.
so I mean that proves that yeah, nobody can be keeping an eye on everybody
No, no,
24/7.
no, no. It's impossible. No,
But
no,
the thing is though that who's the perpetrator and who's the accomplice? Who's the one in charge and who's the one that's helping out? The 18-year-old or the 60-year-old? Who's the one in charge of those two? I mean, as it was
I don't know.
pointed out.
I have seen already story like you have the master and the uh, élève, comment on
Apprentice.
dit ça? Yeah, the apprentice. You
Yeah.
have the master and the apprentice, and they are both killer, and they are all respect each other for what they do together, and they made a kind of a group together to
Yep.
kill people. I've already see this stuff and stuff like this, but yeah. your question is really interesting because it's relevant.
Well,
Then we have two people. Yeah, go ahead. But it's
I mean, I would suggest that yes, the reason why you need Bobby there is as was mentioned last night. You know, it has to be somebody who knows what the security arrangements are at the Avery salvage yard. Somebody that lives there that
yeah.
would know to push it through the down Avery Road at that time. You know,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah,
For
yeah,
me, it
absolutely, Bob. You know, absolutely. You know, yeah, of course it's all planted. Of course it, and
yeah,
it's all planned. It's all planned, you know.
from the beginning,
You know,
and even
and
uh,
yeah,
since 1985, the first case. See the
yeah,
first
yeah,
case, it was
yeah,
already
yeah,
like this.
yeah, yeah. It's 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 not difficult. It's Occam's razor, isn't it? Who benefits from Stephen Avery being convicted of a murder. They can't. Despite what Kenneth Peterson says, they can't kill him. Which is a crass
Yeah,
thing for the police to say, but they can't do that because the civil suit would just carry on posthumously. Which is known. I can only imagine, Bob, the embarrassment of the sheriff's department when they were found out by the 85 conviction, and the fact that it's, dare I say it's Stephen Avery. It's somebody that they know well because of his past misdemeanors. you know whether everything that they're saying about him is true or not, it doesn't matter. It still looks bad that you've got this dude. Can I call him a dude? Stephen Avery,
yeah,
who he just comes across as a very simple, works on a scrapyard, and he's about to take down the district attorney, Dennis Vogel, or the then district attorney, Dennis
yeah,
Vogel,
yeah,
and the then sheriff of Manitowoc.
yeah. Yeah, and
You know,
for them, they were really afraid about that,
yeah,
and w- everybody know that they were really afraid about that. But
yeah,
we can see there is really a problem with the police, with the corruption, and that's why pointing the finger or somebody or on somebody, yeah, it's maybe really hard sometimes, but it's maybe a trick, it's maybe a trick in a big play. We don't have all pieces for now because we
mm,
don't know. I think we don't know. I think we know maybe just 5% of what Casey know,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
because,
yeah. I
but
I know. I thought it was interesting that I saw somewhere that Kathleen Zellner said that, you know I'm delighted to present this motion, and Steve's behind it as well. And you think, at first my initial reaction was, but this is delaying the state having to explain the handing back of the bones. And you think, well, is this such a big thing? But the fact that obviously Kathleen Zellner did investigate this Tom Sowinski, everything checks out, and now we've even got this footage of the tire tracks where that car's gone through the ditch. I think that's absolutely amazing.
it's it proved something. It proved then the RAV4 was not on the propriety all the time.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
As you know,
yeah, we all
as
know that, but
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Both Milbley mentioned it last night. We both know an individual that spotted the RAV4 near the East Twin River Dam, because as youngsters apparently they used to go there swimming in that
ah,
bit of the water. Yeah, it's quite a well known bit. But then I believe they then did something to sort of prevent that. But yeah, at one time it was a bit of an attraction for kids to go and swim there. So yeah, um, that sort of information would only come from somebody that really knows what they're talking about, and they've seen the RAV4 parked up there. What's it doing there?
Yeah, and which
Yeah,
one? The
yeah.
blue one or the green one?
Well,
Yeah.
well, of course, I'm always remembered of Mr. Boyd, who still sends me stuff. I seem to remember he went from two RAV4s to three to four to, look. One of the things that I would always ask people, is are you absolutely 100% convinced that those bones, those cremains, are Teresa Halbach? No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not
no,
100% convinced.
no, me either. No.
I'm certainly not 100% convinced on who's, if they are Teresa's, who's killed her. I'm not convinced on that at all.
No,
What
neither.
I do see though is that the Denny, um, claim against Bobby.
Yeah, yeah,
Unfortunately, Bob, the Denny
yeah,
claim against Bobby is perfectly valid. You know,
yeah,
if anybody was going to be a suspect, you know, unfortunately, Bob, there's more that there is now more stuff against Bobby than there is against Stephen, and that's why Kathleen Zellner has to go with this. Um, that's the, that's just the way it is. It's she's going
yeah.
where the
And
evidence leads, and it's one of these things where she can't show sort of any weakness or compassion for other people. Her client is Stephen Avery. Her job is to get him out, and the only way she can get him out and Brendan is to show who actually did it.
but
And and
I understand for the family it's horrible.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
really
but I mean,
horrible because
but yeah, but it was mentioned last night. Um, Even if Kathleen Zellner identifies a perpetrator, it's going to be near impossible to convict that person because of what's gone on so far.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
the
yeah.
initial investigation was so poor.
Oh
Because
yeah,
that
yeah. There is a lot
it's
of
just
reason. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I know, but
I mean,
in the same time,
Sappercott there is saying, most of this was done on the fly. You wonder, don't you, how much of this was set up and how much of this was, was done on the spur of the moment, um, with simply that,
yeah, it's
everybody,
true.
the old compasses, all compasses point north, and everybody just comes in, and lines up with what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's have a look. See what we've got in terms of people commenting, because it's
Hello, everybody.
yeah. Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, Millbilly. Oh, sorry. Apologies. Yeah. Right. In fact, yeah. MTSO planted the
Planting
the
the
idea.
highly queso ran
Yeah.
with I.
Yeah. MTSO planted it. Queso ran with it. Yep. Absolutely. Um.
Yeah, but
Listen.
everything was planted. Everything.
Yeah.
We all know
Yeah.
that everything was planted. But for what reason? For what exact reason? We don't know. And we assume it was planted by the law enforcement and by maybe the real killer or the real killers. We don't know.
Mm,
We don't even know if like you say, Teresa Albach is dead. We don't know.
mhm.
We can. It's it's highly it's highly possible that she's not alive yet and she was killed. Yeah, for sure. But can we be sure at 100%? No, no, we can't.
Yeah. Bobby deserves the same presumption of innocence that
Yes,
Steve and Brendan were denied. You know,
everybody. Yeah,
everybody. The
yeah,
fact is, though, that Bobby was pressure was put on the whole family. We hear constantly about this, that the pressure that law enforcement put on, because that's what they're trying to do. They are trying to to convict Stephen Avery
Yeah,
of a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
crime in order to to get this this civil suit destroyed. Um, as you say, stop the lawsuit. Um, it's I mean, always has a shirt on. Like I said, Bob. To your knowledge, absolutely, absolutely. You can only go by what you know, what you've seen, and what you've experienced. But I'll be honest with you, right? My mum doesn't know half of what I got up to when I was 18.
Oh no,
You know,
same for
and
me.
I don't
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't think your mum probably does either. And there are
No,
things that I would never ever disclosed to my parents. There were one or two that I did much later on, but certainly not at the time. I'm not saying
yeah,
that
me.
I've
Yeah,
you
same
know
for me. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You can't be with them
But
24/7. You can obviously you can say, look, I know these people. Um, they wouldn't do this.
Paul,
Would
I can really understand the feeling then you can have on the family, because again it's pointing the finger of one member of the family and not point the finger on the law enforcement, and I mean the real person who are really responsible for what happens to Steve again and to Brendan. So I understand. If
you?
it was me, I think I was react on the same way, because I will assume that my boy cannot do that because it's my
Yeah,
son, and from so yeah. But like you say, it's hard to say and it's hard to take, but we cannot we can never know what people do and what can happen. And I don't say I don't say it's dead, but it's maybe like I think it's what I think really. It's Bobby for me. It just one a piece of the of what Kathleen tried to do
hmm
to have Steve out of prison, and in the same time Brendan out of the prison, and maybe catch the real killer. But for now, at the moment, I think she need to point the finger on someone, and sadly, it's Bobby. And yeah, sadly, it's Bobby. But
yeah. But as I say, you've got a 60-year-old there, and you've got Bobby. Bobby's 18, and you've got six.
yeah,
Who's in charge? That's not Bobby. Bobby's there because he knows that he knows where to push the car. He knows the lay of the land because he lives there. I mean,
yeah,
clearly this guy, the 60-year-old with a long beard, does not live there. Whoever this
no,
fella is, and the other thing is that if if it does turn out that at, at the very least Bobby is involved in planting the Rav 4. That's clear. This is clear from this Thomas Sowinski testimony. This corroboration with the tire
yeah, yeah,
tracks
yeah,
in the grass.
yeah.
It's all stacking up. That doesn't mean to say that yeah, Bobby did it. But I mean,
No, no,
if if tomorrow Bobby came out and said, look, guys, I admit I did this, that, and the other. You know, Bob and Pete, you can't go at them and say, oh, you should have exposed this all, ages ago. They didn't know.
no, and it's just my thought, but maybe Bobby was not maybe aware that this raffle was the Raffo. He was maybe trying to help somebody to do something, and he is not involved at all for anything. He maybe just at do just a little mistake, but for the case, a big mistake, and realize that after, and it was too late. And I don't know, or it's maybe, in the same time, the law enforcement to make put the pressure on Bobby, saying, "Hey, Steven, say that you are the last person I have seen Teresa alive. So
Yeah,
if you don't tell us the truth, we charge you for everything."
yeah,
And maybe Bobby was completely panicked and afraid. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's they if I don't know. But I, for me, with the knowledge I have on the case, I don't see Bobby in the. I don't
yeah.
see. I don't see Bobby, but I can be wrong for sure. Yeah.
Sure. One of the books I've read quite a few of them have dealt with this whole idea of how do the police um, come up with this lie detector. You've got
Yeah.
the lie detector test. You've got this brain fingerprinting. The police would love a device that enabled them to tell if somebody is telling. Detectives would love it. You get these detectives that are supposed to be able to read people by their body language and what they say. It's
Yeah.
all
They are
it's
training for
all
that.
it's
Yeah.
it's all bogus science, and the
Yeah.
problem I see in this case, and I'm not going to quote Millbilly's actual words, but this case is messed up because you've
Yeah.
got witnesses and you've got the police lying, blatantly lying. Everybody is lying about this case because they want to frame Stephen Avery.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
this is the problem.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
I
it
agree.
if
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
if you have when you've got the sheriff's officers, Lenk and Colburn,
Yeah.
and the rest of them, and they're going on the witness stand and they're saying, whatever the pledge is, and they're doing it on the Bible, oh yeah, yeah, I'm a police officer, I would
Yeah.
never lie, and it's clear that they're lying. What
Absolutely.
I mean, if the police are lying, what we cannot,
No, I
we,
know.
we, we
Yeah.
you know we cannot expect normal citizens to go up and tell the truth if the police are getting up there and blatantly lying.
No, no, no. Because
You know,
even if you want to do the right thing, in doing the right thing, you are not agree with the
yeah,
law enforcement who lie and ask you to lie,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
even in a law of court. So in a court of law, sorry,
yeah,
because they tell people, hey, there is no problem. We know the judge, and we have an arrangement with the judge, and you can lie. There is no problem about that. It's highly possible with the level of corruption there. It's highly possible. So,
yeah,
but I don't know.
yeah. I remember once a very high-ranking retired official in the police saying that sometimes when you take the witness stand as a policeman, you say, "I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing like the truth." It look it's clearly like that, isn't it? Listen, Jerome,
Yeah,
thank you very much for popping in. I am going to take this dog for a walk because he is desperate, and it is 11:15 here, 11:45 for you. You need the sleep,
yeah.
I need the sleep. To everybody in the chat, thank you very much for joining us. To
Thank
Bob,
you very much.
please, we love you, Bob. Of course we do. You're Brendan's mum, and we want the best for Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. That's what
Absolutely.
we want. That's what we're fighting for here. You know, if we get if when not if when Zellner gets Stephen released, Brendan, who is completely innocent, he's never he's given a false confession that he was coerced into giving.
Oh
But
yeah.
other than that, he's not a liar, and he's
Oh
not a
no.
devious person. So yeah,
Oh
let's
no, not at all. Not at all.
okay,
Nobody thinks about that.
yeah, okay. So yeah, love to Bob, obviously Pete, and the whole of the the Avery family and
And the
Steve and
Darcy family,
yeah,
and
yeah, you know.
I know it's tricky because
It's
I
very
know.
it's what it is. It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to say cheerio. Thank you very much, Jerome.
Thank you, Paul.
You were a very 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 brave knight coming in with just a few minutes' notice.
Oh.
So you're not the knight that says ye. You're the knight that says yes.
I am the knight to say yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
And if you
thanks
haven't done
everybody.
it
Oh,
already,
say
please subscribe.